Today's audio is a playthrough of a mystery created by LadyXoc Games for the Monster of the Week tabletop role-playing game created by Michael Sands and produced by Evil Hat Productions. This playthrough is intended to provide an example of how the mysteries could play out at the table, so you might notice some variations from the written page. Trigger warnings can be found in the description below. Hello everyone, welcome to Monster of the Week with LadyXoc Games. My name is Jax and I am the founder and host. I will also be the keeper for today's mystery. Around the table I have with me, anybody want to go first?
I can go first. My name's Josh. You can usually find me on the Crit Show Discord under Air Adult. That's pretty much the main place to find me. So if you need to find me there. I'll be playing the Wrong today. My character's name is Andrew Cheng. He is a Chinese American man, early 30s, pronouns he, him, closely cropped hair, usually wearing a leather jacket and jeans. And he is looking vengeance for his family that have gone missing through supernatural circumstances.
Great. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Can. Oh, go ahead.
My name's Kaz. You can find me on the Crit Show Discord or the Kit and Marlowe Discord. The character I'm playing today is Marty Van Duzer. His look is covered in incoherent tattoos, lip, nose, and eyebrows pierced. 7-inch green running shorts, a fanny pack, and a cropped black tank with pastel yikes written across it. The playbook that I'm playing today is the Flake.
I'm Chris. You can also find me at the Crit Show Discord as Deceiving Leak. I'm playing Agent Oliver Raslo, the professional. He's a clean-cut FBI agent with a pressed gray suit, dark beard and hair, some gray peeking through. His gun and his badge are always at his hip. And though he works at the FBI, he found his way down into a basement department where he's handling cases most people think are made up.
Great. All right. So that is our team today. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. I have a quick kind of camera scene to get us started. And then we will find out what our intrepid hunters are up to today. So the camera pans down over a lovely stretch of forest with a hiking trail running through it. We see a young woman, looks to be in her mid-20s, and she's hiking up the trail. She's wearing a nice but well-worn hiking gear and is very sure of her footing. It's clear that she is an experienced hiker and seems to know this trail in particular. She stops and stands before a large crop of bushes and takes a sip out of her water bottle. As she puts the lid back on, she seems a little uneasy. There's a strange stillness that's come over the wood, and there's oddly no more birds chirping, no animals calling, just the sound of wind moving in the tree branches. As she starts to look around her to see what's going on, we see a flash of green, and she's pulled into the crop of bushes with a blood-curdling scream as the camera fades to black. Marty, what are you doing today? Where do we find him? Where does the camera pick up on him?
I think, what time is it in the day? Early in the day? Just,
Whatever time you want. It can be, let's say, mid-morning.
I think that Marty is just getting out of his apartment. Marty doesn't like to sleep super late. He's got people he's got to meet. People need things, and he's got the things. So he is probably just getting out of his apartment around mid-morning, taking up his normal spot a few blocks down, and just kind of waiting for his regulars to come up, grab some stuff, and pay him what he's owed. And whether that's information, whether that's other substances, stuff from the underworld, he can get a fair amount. So I think he's at his spot, and he's waiting patiently for his first customer.
Has he read the news today?
Oh, I think he's got a newspaper in his hand immediately. I think that's the first stop to his corner is throwing a quarter into the newsstand real quick, grabbing a paper, and I think that he starts reading the paper.
Great.
What is Marty? What does Marty notice about the paper today?
So Marty notices a couple of different things. I feel like Marty is the type of person that you have like 2 or 3 newspapers and you never just look at one. You're just like, is this the same as this one? Is this the same as this one? And you start seeing some reports, some not on the front page, but on the main newspapers, not the tabloids, of signs of a giant green monster all over the papers. People saying they've seen it, people saying people are missing. Somebody's claiming to have physical evidence, like photographs of this. And the articles kind of strike you as similar. They're all kind of about different people, but they all strike you as pretty similar. So as you start realizing that there is probably a there, we are going to cut over to Agent Laszlo. Where do we find you on a mid-morning? Let's say it's a Tuesday.
I'm definitely sitting at an old, like the old metal desks. Somebody has just handed me a folder that deals with this case, and I'm reading through some of the stuff that's come through, which is probably missing a lot of details because whoever took the case at the main office would have been like, "Oh, this is silly." Sipping some black coffee out of the cheapest paper cup. And I think as I'm reading it and preparing to go check it out, I would probably shoot a text to Marty and to Andrew to see if they want to meet me there or if they want to get picked up.
That's perfect. I think as the camera closes on Marty, it zeroes in on one of the articles with a blurry photo that you can't really see anything at all in, really, about somebody who's gone missing and about this proof. And we zoom in towards the article, zoom back out, and we see Agent Laszlo reading the same clipping now because it's in a folder from the FBI. And then next to that, we see a couple of forms from the FBI for whoever filled out the incident reports. And we see a couple of names on the side of people who have been officially reported missing versus, the sightings in the newspaper type of thing. As we see you looking through it, the camera then cuts again over to Andrew. Andrew, what are you doing this fine morning?
I think Andrew is eating breakfast at like a diner, but he also has newspapers spread out, but he has like the local newspaper, like whatever the daily / weekly version of like the National Enquirer. Like he's trying to like, basically keep tabs on what supernatural events that, maybe the general public think is hogwash, but he knows there was always a kernel of truth to these stories. So he probably has also seen the headline. Others have.
Yeah, I think as we pan to him, it again picks up on that same article, only this time there's a big, black line circled around it in this newspaper. And then as the camera pulls back, we see more newspapers spread out on your table with other, X's and circles and lines connecting them and things like that. And you get a text from Agent Laszlo as you look at your phone.
Oh, Andrew will like just immediately scoop all of these things up. There's no like folding them neatly. It's just like he just kind of wads them all together. Like he's like the whole thing is on fire and he's trying to get this, Adam West Batman bomb like out to his car, his classic car. Yeah, he chucks all that stuff in the back and he drives off to wherever the address was that Agent Raslo's.
Perfect. So, Marty, we cut back to you, and you also get a text from Agent Raslo.
I think Marty looks at his phone and swears under his breath and is like, "Oh, okay, it's not about that." And he notices that Andrew is across the street, leaving the diner with a bunch of newspapers in his hand, and he yells across the street and goes, "Hey, Drew! Hey, are you going to? I'm coming with you." And he runs across the street and helps Drew put the papers in his car. Also Drew, throwing the 3 newspapers that are in his car or in his hands also into Drew's car.
Oh yeah, he definitely is basically like, gesturing with his head to like open the back door so he could, throw this massive conspiracy theory papers into the back before we take off.
Great. So we're going to cut to you all arriving. So we know that Andrew has a car, and I believe Agent Raslo would have some sort of van or, one of those non-marked black SUVs.
Yep.
To show up with as the FBI. And as you were looking at all of this is happening in the town of Brickeridge. Now, Brickeridge is a small town, kind of a little bit more towards the woods and the mountains. As we say, she was on a hiking trail in that opening bit there. So you all arrive, and there's not much to this town, so it's really easy for you all to meet up. There's kind of a general store, a post office, a restaurant, and a bed and breakfast kind of thing. So what are you all doing as you arrive in town with your newspaper clippings and your go get 'em attitude?
I think I would go straight to the site. I assume I would have the address. Is there still police activity?
Why don't you? So there isn't necessarily a single crime scene here. There's a lot of people who've been reported missing. So that opening scene is something that like we see as the audience, but that's not necessarily like an incident report that you received. You receive a couple of like missing persons. So what you would probably do is go to the sheriff's office.
Yep.
But if you wanted to try to track down from the information in the newspaper where some of those missing person scenes would have occurred, you could do an investigative mystery roll.
No, I would probably go to the police station first, then try to find some kind of contact there that could maybe give me some last knowns for a couple of the more recent ones so we can go check them out.
Sure. Alrighty. So you get to this small sheriff's office. There's not much there. There's like, a younger gentleman at the desk, and the sheriff is talking to him. Agent Raslo, that this is Sheriff Karen Baker from your dossier that you have. And she looks up as the 3 of you enter. I think she looks at you and she gets a little bit of an exasperated look on her face, and then notices the other 2, looks them up and down, and just kind of squints her eyes a little before greeting you.
Would I notice this exasperation?
Oh yes,
Okay.
you are well used to this. Local
Yeah.
police are not known for wanting the FBI to come in and take over their cases. So I think this is something you are used to quite a lot, but she does put a smile on her face as she walks up to greet you. Howdy ho, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
Good morning. Look, I know you're not thrilled to see a badge walk in the front door, but we're here to just look. We're just looking over the missing persons right now. We're not officially taking over any cases. I'm actually just curious if there's maybe some information you can give me, maybe even some last known sightings for a couple of the missing persons so we can go out and investigate. And I kind of just look over my shoulder and I'm like, they're with me, they're undercover.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me a manipulate someone? She's gonna definitely at least give you something because it's, there's a hierarchy. There is a requirement potentially. and she's interested in keeping her jurisdiction. But I think if you roll well, then she will be more likely to be a lot more forthcoming with you. So go ahead and roll me a manipulate someone.
That was a 5.
Starting off right with some experience points. Go ahead and mark that experience point. And I think her face falls when you don't even do the pleasantries. You just went straight to the, I'm not taking over. I just want the info. And she just grits her teeth a little. You can kind of hear them clicking behind her closed, pursed mouth. Well, I suspect that you know the same kind of information that I do, Mr. FBI. Agent, what was your name again?
Raslo, my apologies, and I hold my hand out to shake her hand. I'm not I'm not a normal FBI agent. I handle things that other agents don't normally get assigned. So
Well, as you said, we just have some missing persons, not uncommon, out here in the woods. Got the trails and everything, and it can be kind of dangerous. But most of the people who've been missing, their families are just going overboard, and I'm sure we'll find them soon. The only thing that we got right now is some sort of remnants that look to be some sort of bear attack. That's about it. So if y'all want to investigate a bear attack, I can give you the details on where we found the remnants and send you over towards the other town. We're still waiting on a coroner. You see, we don't got a lot of town here, so we're waiting on the coroner from the city come out, take a look at them. We just got them in a freezer, but like I said, they're mostly an animal attack. Send you after that, telling you a wild goose chase, but you're welcome to it.
I would love to go check out where the attack site is. And if you have a card, so I can contact you with any information I might find while I'm out on the road, I would love to take that too.
Dennis will get you one. And she nods to the kid who looks like he's maybe early 20s, sitting at the desk. And he immediately just like quick and hands you one. And he then also writes down on a piece of paper some instructions on how to find the place where this was found, because this is in the woods, so it's not like an address, but he pulls out a map and he's like circling the areas and the trails. Yeah, if you go over here, well, you don't want to go that one because you can't. You see how it says you can cut across? You can't cut across anymore. That's more like a deer path. It's not really there anymore. So definitely take this route. And he's like showing you where to go to get to there.
Great. I appreciate the local expertise.
All right. So, Kaz and Andrew, is there anything that you all are doing while this is taking place, or have you just you're just waiting on your next assignment type thing?
Oh, I think Marty's super uncomfortable. I think the moment we walked into the police station, he went, "You didn't fucking tell me that this was the address was the police station." And he's like kind of spinning a little bit. And when he realizes that the sheriff made eye contact like with him while he walked in, he like kind of looked to see if maybe there was some of his friends or someone in a day cell that he recognizes that he could talk to, instead of like standing awkwardly in a police station looking at all the cops.
Do you have a move by any chance that would allow you to like have a friend in every town or something like that?
I was just curious what happened. If that's a move, that's
there are a few moves. There's I know that the gumshoe has a move that lets you know law enforcement kind of wherever you go. You like roll for it to see if somebody who's friendly in law enforcement is with you. I know there's like some other playbooks that have similar concepts. It won't necessarily be that one, but Net Friends is the one for the Flake. That one's more online friends that can help you find things for you. But I do think that as you wander over, I don't think you're going to find somebody that you know. Without a move, I can't give you that, but I can give you people in a jail cell.
I think that's great.
I think you see 2 people. One is an older man who has a big bushy beard and is laying on a cot, clearly sleeping off some public intoxication arrest. So he is groggy and asleep. And if you wake him up, you can tell he's just going to yell at you to shut up so he can get more sleep. And then in the other one, I think you find a mid 40s guy who looks like he's just bored, just sitting there.
I think that he kind of goes up to one of the cells if he can. I don't know how the police station is laid out, and
I don't
just
think
kind
you
of
can go all the way up to the
Yeah.
cell, but you could be kind of by the door where I think there's just like, this is not a very modern jail cell. So apologies to anyone who works at sheriff's offices or in small towns with prisons, but I don't think that there's clearly another layer between the cells and the outer office, but you can kind of see who's in there. I think if you tried to walk all the way up to the cell, you might have to either break in or convince her to let you in. But I think you could probably, I think there's like a window with like the thing that moves up, or maybe some bars as the door or something. So you could talk to him, but you're not going to talk. Anybody who's in the jail cells is going to hear you.
Yeah, I think that Marty's social enough and willing to look for a distraction in here to just kind of like holler at the guy and go, "Hey, guy,
What do
hey,
you want?
hey, do you know anything about these disappearances? I don't mean to. I know you're probably in here for something crazy like public nudity or something like that, but you're probably not.
Oi. No, I'm not. I'm not in here for that. What in God's name?
Oh, are you in here for attacking these people in the woods? Have you heard about these?
You refuse to pay a couple of parking tickets and they throw you in jail. Now I'm a jailbird. The hell?
So you was parking where you shouldn't. Okay, I gotcha. So were you parking out in these woods? There's a bunch of people going missing right now, and I am so under the guys that they have the guy in this cell right now, and I'm looking at him. You know anything about this?
You think I What? Wait, okay. So yes, a couple of people didn't come back from hiking and camping trips. It's kind of abnormal, but it's not the end of the world. Besides, everybody knows who's still missing. There's hunts out for them every day. Go ask those people.
Yeah, did you know anyone? Did you know any of the ones that went missing?
Yeah, I mean, I know the Crenshaws. We go hunting sometimes, and uh, that's where I got my last parking ticket. Was you know the last time I went hunting with them.
And where'd you get your last parking ticket?
Up in the woods. It's in the state park, and you go up a little ways and he starts to describe kind of a similar region to where the map is going to show Agent Raslo.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to show approximately the same place. I think what he's describing to you also includes an area where you can park for the day, but you can't park overnight, kind of thing. And he's railing about how that's not fair and it's so expensive. And then you have to hike all the way up there if you park down at where you're supposed to park. Like, he's just kind of bitching about not being allowed to park up in that section by the head of the trail.
All right. That okay. I think I've seen that spot before. Yeah, I've gotten several tickets down there. That's why I don't got a guy anymore. What was your name? You said the Crenshaws too.
Yeah, my name's Billy, but the Crenshaws, Jeff and Chuck.
All right. Nah,
This
well,
last
thanks.
time they went without me, and they just haven't come back yet.
Oh shit. So you didn't go out there? Okay. All right. Well,
I didn't want another parking ticket.
That's fair. That's fair. You should probably stay away from those woods, especially that parking spot. But you enjoy your time in here, Billy. And Marty starts walking away.
Yeah, thanks, man. Hey, if you see the Crenshaws, tell them they owe me $50 for one of these parking tickets because I'm the one who drove.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell him. I'll tell him I'm Billy's friend. All right, I'll talk to you, Billy.
All right. Andrew, what have you been up to?
Well, I think Andrew would have been a little bit dismayed that once he sees the sheriff's face fall, he would have muttered under his breath, "It's like, should have pulled rank immediately. Would have saved us a lot of trouble." Like, and I think while Marty is having his chat with Billy and the sheriff is having a chat with the agent, I was going to try to see if I could look sort of like snoop around as far as like, oh, like did one of these cops have like a case file open that shouldn't be open, to see if there's any other like details that the sheriff is not forthcoming with.
All right, yeah. Roll investigate a mystery.
Goes well. Pretty
Okay,
good.
gonna hold one.
I mean, I guess what is being concealed here is probably the best one.
That's always a good one. I think what is being concealed here? As Agent Laszlo is talking to the sheriff, you kind of step over to the desk, and it's one of those desks where like it's got that top part where customers can or people who are making statements and things like that can walk up to, but the person who works at the desk, there's like a second level. So as you are doing that, you kind of surreptitiously leaning as you listen and kind of glancing down at what Dennis, the assistant, is looking at in front of him. And you notice that the map that he has in front of him has a couple of places circled and a couple of places like X'd out, and some kind of dates and times for when other people were missing. So it's not a lot of specificity that I'll give you right here. It doesn't really matter, but it's like a couple of days ago, this person went missing. Then a couple of days later, this is the last place they saw them. This person was on this trail, kind of thing. And you note that there are 4 people in total that have gone missing. And one of those circled places is the same as on the maps and in the description that the other 2 got, but there are 3 other spots that don't seem to be individual spots. They seem to be like trails or camping grounds or, other places where they were last seen as opposed to a crime scene.
And can I distinguish what the difference between the circles and the X's are? Is
Yes,
there
I think I'll give you this. They are clearly forming search parties to go out and look for these people. So you see like shifts listed and then areas that were circled and then crossed out. Clearly people have combed that region and they've narrowed it down. All right, anything else you want to do at the sheriff's department?
I think Marty is all done. I think when he finished the conversation with Billy, he actually didn't wait for the other guys. He just walked out the door.
Marty was done with the sheriff's station as soon as Marty walked into the sheriff's station.
Agreed.
All right, so is the next stop anywhere in town, or are you going to head straight to the crime scene?
I mean, I think that I would take a look at the sheriff could give him a map with like, or is that the map that we have from the case files?
It's similar enough. The map that they gave you is the same map they were using, like the same type of map, but not the exact same one. So he's holding on to the one that has all of that additional detail that you saw, but she gives you this like a copy of the same. It's a state park trail map, and she hands you a copy of it and circles where that location was.
Yeah, I will root through my glove box for a Sharpie or some sort of like highlighter, and I will take Agent Raslo's map and I will mark the circles and X's to the best of my memory of just having snooped in this place. I don't think your sheriff friend was totally forthcoming. One of their maps they had in there had more circles and X's, where it looks like the search party is narrowing their band. So clearly, if they think it's a bear attack, they still have hope that these people are out there. But clearly, there are other spots other than the one that she told you about. Hold up the map to show them.
Andrew, why don't you just roll me a straight up sharp roll? I just want to see how accurate you've gotten. Like how much are you really remembering from your glance at this?
So
7. Okay.
Pretty good.
You get most of it. You think you probably have maybe missed a few, or you don't remember a few, but you've got that. You've got at least the areas that they're currently trying to get to.
Oh, good job. Do you guys want to get whatever you need and get into my car, and we'll head to the known locations? I do want to come back at some point and check out that body that they have in the cooler, but I do not believe that I got off on the right foot with her to ask right now.
I have a lot of what the police might consider contraband in my trunk, so if we could move my car somewhere that's not in front of the police station, would be ideal.
Yeah, I had a lot of contraband on my person. If I had known we were coming to the police station, I would have definitely stashed it in the truck. I think I'm good. I think I got everything I need. I'm packing heat. And then Marty quiets down really quickly and realizes he's still outside of the police station.
All right, yeah. So you all get in your vehicles. Are you all taking your individual cars, or are you going to kind of carpool up to the kind of that lookout point where Billy got his ticket?
I'm willing to take everybody. I would most likely have some kind of unmarked SUV, and we're going to be going through all these trails and dirt roads. So
I just need a discreet place to move my assault rifle and 9mm handgun from the trunk of my car into whatever car we're going into that's not in front of a police station.
That's pretty
fine.
easy. This town is small, but it's kind of spaced out. So if you just go down the road a little bit, there's, more places for tourists to park to go to trailheads, and more areas for you to pull in and kind of be someplace that is not near the sheriff's station.
One of my moves is called mobility. It gives me a vehicle and some good things and some bad things about it. One of the things, since it's a government vehicle, I assume that there's some kind of weapons rack in the back, so you could easily transfer weapons into it.
Let me look
Sounds
it
good.
over and see if it's a weapons rack or just like what yours actually says. The good thing is roomy, surveillance gear, fast, stealthy, intimidating, classic, med kit, sleeping space, toolkit, concealed weapons. Yes, you have, if you have concealed weapons in there, you have some sort of weapon rack or case or something that they can be put in. It is loud, obvious, temperamental, beaten up, gas guzzler, uncomfortable, and slow because it's old. Fantastic. Alrighty. So I guess we all pile into this uncomfortable, loud, obvious, and temperamental van or
No,
truck.
it's pick two good things and one bad thing. So the concealed weapons and a med kit for good things, and then the bad things I put that it's obvious because it just looks like a cop car.
Great. Okay, I see what you did. So I was giving you all the bad. You just have to take. You just take one bad. I see.
Two good and one bad. Yeah.
All right, great. So you stow your weapons in a place that's concealed, and you pile into this car or this SUV and head on up. It does very much look like a vehicle of authority, but I think at this point that might actually help you because no one's going to give you a parking ticket for parking up here. So you drive all the way up. There's a winding trail. It's a gravel or dirt kind of road all the way up. And you are at the lookout point, which is a little bit through the woods from the place that was circled on your map. So you all get out, and do you bring your weapons with you, or are you leaving them in the car for now?
Well, I have a sidearm that's on me, so I'll take that.
Okay.
I will leave the assault rifle for now, but I have my 9mm and then my signature weapon, which is a magic dagger.
Nice. Okay. Marty, I assume you didn't hide any of those in an FBI truck in case the FBI steals them from you.
No, his fanny pack's a little bit larger, so it carries the 9mm. The whole time that he was in the sheriff's office, he was sweating bullets because at any point a sheriff could have just been like, "What's in the fanny pack?" And they would have caught like weed, they would have caught a gun, they would have seen a butterfly knife and just been like, that's the worst one of all.
Yes, the
And
butterfly knives, this scourge of our communities.
so no, I think he's definitely had it all on him and taking it with him for sure.
Great, awesome. I love that it's a fanny pack. That makes me happy in my heart. Okay, great. So you all are packing what you're packing and leaving a couple of the heavier weapons behind, and you trek out into the woods. I think you, Agent Raslo, are lamenting wearing your suit. It is getting warm out here, and those shoes were not made for hiking. But I think the rest of you are probably doing fine as you reach a small clearing that very has some bushes that have been pulled aside and some broken branches, and clearly there was a scuffle here, and there's some police tape around it. So you have reached your destination.
I think I definitely want to push right past the police tape and start just looking at anything I can find. Is there blood?
Why don't you roll me and investigate a mystery?
7.
All right, that's a hold one.
I guess just what happened here.
Clearly, there was a fight or some sort of an attack that happened here. As you are looking around, you do see spots of blood splatter as if something was ripped apart. We're not talking about, grabbed and then shake like a bear would or a dog would. This feels like it was ripped apart. And you also see a lot of branches that have been broken are much higher up and taller than you would expect from a bear, unless that bear, I don't know, fell down the tree, which is really unlikely. So, what you're noticing is that it seems like something really, really big or really, really tall knocked some of these branches and broke them. And you just get the sense that this was a mauling
By something tall?
by something definitely not a bear, and something that is tall or large. Is anyone else doing any investigating or looking around?
Marty's kind of just taken aback. Like, I don't think he's kind of things because I think he's used to more like if it is blood, it's the creature's blood, or it's kind of a ghost things. How badly somebody could be hurt, making him kind of frantic a little bit. And I think that he doesn't want to go closer to the blood, so he's kind of looking out into the, I don't know, maybe something's still here.
All right, roll investigate a mystery to see if you can see if anything is. Ooh, investigate a mystery or read a bad situation. No, investigate a mystery because you're looking for you're looking for evidence of something having been here or still being here. That is not quite the same as kind of entering a dangerous situation at the moment. So go ahead and roll investigate a mystery. All right, you get a hold one.
Where did it go?
You, as Agent Raslo starts looking up at the branches, that kind of gives you a clue that he's noticed something taller than you. And so you look up and you notice that there's broken branches. Not all of them. It's not like, oh, it's all cleared out, but there's a couple of broken branches here or there heading deeper into the woods. But you can see a trail. It's not super, super clear, but it is enough that you could follow it.
Raz, I think we're looking in the wrong spot. And he starts pointing. And I think that Marty kind of just kind of starts walking.
All right. Before we get to you walking off into the woods, Andrew, what have you been doing this whole time?
I think I've kind of been triangulated between the two of them, like, Raslo looking at the scene, Marty looking off into the distance, and I almost want to, I'd like to trust my gut here to figure out what our best move is, if it is to stay here and investigate or walk with Marty out into the woods.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it for me.
That's real bad. Real bad.
That is a 3. Absolute fail, but you get some mark experience. Yay!
Cold comfort.
Yeah, as you're trying to listen to your gut, you start to feel a little queasy when you're looking at this crime scene. and you look over to where Marty is, and it doesn't feel queasy anymore, and you think you should go with Marty.
Yeah, Raslo, I think Marty's got a good idea here. We should go off into the woods, see where that thing went.
Yeah, I agree. I'll undo the snap on the holster, and I'm actually going to go in front of them since they are civilians and technically under my care, but I will head in where Marty was looking.
Okay, so you're going to be leading this trek down this path, correct?
Yeah.
Great, you've triggered a custom move for this game called Into the Woods. When attempting to navigate the woods, roll plus sharp. If traveling as a group, choose a leader. You've chosen to be lead. Go ahead and roll me plus sharp.
Ooh, 7.
7. All right. So if you had gotten a 10 plus, a full success, you navigate the woods fine. You get where you're going. If you're in a group, all members arrive safely. On a 7 to 9, which is a mixed success, you can get where you want to go, but you have to choose one from below. The choices are you don't know how to get back, you drop something important along the way, or if you're in a group, one of your members gets separated, choose who. On a fail, you are completely lost, and I get to take a hard move. But you got a 7.
I think I'll drop something.
Okay, great. Give me one sec. I am not going to tell you what you dropped at the moment. I think you're going to have to find out when you get further in.
Understood.
All right, so you all are following this trail and you're following, well, you're all together and you come to essentially like a grouping of trees where you don't really see much anymore, but you do hear a rustling in the bushes kind of beside you.
I think I would draw my sidearm and sort of creep over to take a look at what it might be.
All right, roll plus cool to get there without whatever is behind the bush noticing that you're creeping towards them.
Ooh, 11.
All righty. So you notice it's in this rustling bush, and instead of going straight at it, you kind of cut off to the side and go around with your compatriots kind of standing there as a distraction. And you come up behind this bush and point your gun at what it is. And all of a sudden, this guy in his 30s, turns around and just goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no, don't shoot. Don't shoot. I'm unarmed. And he's holding in his hand a camera.
Hey, who the hell are you?
I'm-
You followed us?
No. I'm following the things, the monsters.
Monsters?
Y-
What have you
Yeah.
What do you see? What have you been seeing?
And he just keeps looking down the barrel of this FBI gun and just petrified.
Can I put my hand out, please hand me the camera so I can review what he's been filming?
Yeah, he just hands you the camera and looks back over. Logan Peabody. I wanted to
I'm gonna holster the gun when I have the camera in my hand.
Okay. He puts his arms down, but he still looks super shifty and very afraid of you. As you scroll through the camera, you are getting a few photos that are mostly blurry, but if you want to roll me an investigate a mystery, you might be able to glean something from what you're seeing in here. He is not a great photographer.
That's an 8.
All right. Go ahead and ask me your one question. That's a hold one.
What's being concealed here?
As you're looking through these photos, while they're all blurry, they all have something in them that is green, and sometimes it looks a bit serrated, but there's a lot of them. Like somebody who just came out into the woods to stumble upon these creatures, like it looks like they're in different locations. Like he's tracking these guys as if, or whatever this is, He said it was multiple, and he's trying to get it's very clear that he's trying to get like a proof type of shot of these things, but he's been much closer to them and getting these shots for multiple days.
I'm gonna call Andrew over and ask for the map and ask the gentleman that we found to point where he has seen these things on the map.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There and there. And he's pointing at some of the places where people have been missing. He's also pointing at other places that you didn't really see on here. And then why don't you roll? Actually, can you roll me? I'm trying to figure out what the best move should be for this. And I think just roll me a sharp roll. Okay.
7.
Okay. He's showing you a lot of different locations. Some of them line up, some of them don't. He doesn't necessarily line up with all of the places that they had been looking or anything like that. And you notice that he has conspicuously stayed away from a couple of places where like somebody's gone missing, they've been searching, all of that you think like he keeps looking over at that section, but then not circling anything over there.
Do all of the new marks, is there like a pattern, like where there's maybe like a central location?
Centralized, not so much, but I think what you can figure out is that Andrew, you got to see kind of when these people went missing, and you noticed that they started closer, like they started further into the woods and then got closer and closer to the state park areas that people frequent. So it sounds like they're getting closer and closer to civilization. And what he's pointing out kind of does that too, except that one conspicuous spot.
And you said I noticed that he's like avoiding this location.
Yeah, but he keeps looking at it.
I feel like I just need to flat out ask him what this location is.
Oh, well, I didn't see I didn't see any of the creatures there. I just, this is where I saw them, and he's pointing to those same places again.
Yeah, well, what did you see over there?
Well,
Your eyes are acting super weird. You just keep glancing, man.
I am terrified. There's an FBI agent here with a gun that was trained on me. I don't know if you've ever been down the barrel of a gun. I have not. This would be the first time. I'm a little scared. Yeah, but
all right. Well, just talk with me then. Look, I'm your buddy. I'm Marty. What did you say your name was again? Peabody? Logan?
Logan. Yeah, Logan Peabody.
Logan, it's great to meet you. Hey, do you partake in anything? Is there anything I can do to help you calm down a little bit? Do you have like, I don't know, Adderall or something? You seem like a kid with ADHD. What can we do to just get you to calm your nerves a little bit?
I could do with a drink.
Oh, buddy. Marty whips out a flask and takes a sip from it. He goes, This is just vodka. It's not even that good. It's like recipe 21. It's very, very cheap. Do you like some vodka?
He takes it and he like looks around at everybody and he takes a little bit of a swig and he gets a little bit like he wasn't prepared for how bad this vodka was. And so he kind of sputters and gets it a little bit all over his like chin and stuff. And he hands it back to like, smooth. Thank you.
Yeah, real smooth.
Okay, so these creatures, they're big and they're green, and I think they're taking people.
I don't know if you saw the same crime scene we did. There was a lot of blood back there. You're telling me that these guys are ripping people apart and taking them? That
I don't know. Most people have just gone missing. That was the only one that we found that like has blood on around and stuff.
That we've found? Who are you working with?
Well, I'm at like the town. They've been doing like search parties and stuff, and nobody's reported any other bodies or body parts or bloody scenes or anything. but I've found the creatures a couple times, and they're just big and they're green. And one time I didn't get close enough to see who it was, but they were like dragging I could swear they were dragging a body behind them. Swear.
And how you been getting in and out of here without being spotted by how many monsters did you?
I think 2. But
All right.
I'm real. I'm small. And like you can see in the camera, like I keep my distance. So when I zoom in, like you can see they're super, and you do notice that on the photos, he's got a very large lens and he has zoomed in so far. That's why they're all blurry, because he can't hold the camera still enough, because he's not a very good photographer, but he did get a good camera, but he didn't get a tripod. So he's not holding it still enough for the length of zoom that it would take to get a clear image. It's shaking too much and they all come out blurry.
Yeah, you got a nice camera, kid. Okay, you keep skirting the question. What's in that spot over there? You keep glancing at it.
Roll me a manipulate someone.
Perfect. I have a move that is see it all fits together. You can roll plus sharp instead of plus charm when you manipulate someone.
Nice. Go for it.
Excellent.
That is an 11. I think
Very
he
good.
takes a really deep sigh. Can't believe you broke him this fast. He takes a really deep sigh, and then he starts to cry. Just full on tears. Just bawling. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. This isn't what was supposed to happen.
Oh, kid.
Then these big giant praying mantises creatures. And I didn't think it was real, but like I said the eggs were real, but they weren't supposed to be real. And I just I got them off the internet, and I was gonna debunk it, man. I was gonna debunk it. I was gonna prove that these things didn't exist. Only they hatched. Who knew they were gonna hatch? Like, so then they hatched, and then when I came back for them, they were gone, and I thought they were little, and then they weren't little anymore, and they were really, really big. And now I've been trying to track them down because I don't know how
How
to
many
stop
of
'em.
them? How many of them are there?
I had 2. I got 2 eggs, but they're like really big now, man. They're like 15. Like one of them's 15 feet tall. Like, is huge.
I probably should have shared this with you guys a long time ago, but I don't like bugs like that. Oh boy. All right, kid. So is the area you keep glancing at the nest, like where they hatched at? Did they hatch at your home?
No, there was an old hunting like hutch, like for supplies and stuff, and I used to belong to some folks, but they moved and nobody uses it anymore, so I put them in there. And the instructions had said to keep them on ice so that they were still in hibernation, but I didn't think it was real, man.
Did they give you any rules for care, like don't feed them after midnight, sunlight, that sort of thing, or do they just give you eggs on your own recognizance?
I mean, they said to keep them on ice so they wouldn't hatch, and that was about it. I mean, they weren't like instructions for taking care of them as if they were pets. They were supposed to be collector's items. Well, as a and as he says the black market or goes to say it, he looks over at the FBI guy as if he's just now realizing that he has spewed all of this in front of the authorities.
Yeah, it's good vodka. All right, kid. Do you think is it going to be too dangerous for you to walk us to that hutch area?
I mean, they haven't been back to the hutch since they hatched, but I can show you where it was.
I think maybe we need to go back to the car and get some bigger guns.
Yeah, 15 feet's no joke. I mean, Andrew will kind of take a glance around the trees, like just to get a visual estimate of like how big are the trees compared to what 15 feet. Like, is this old growth forest, like, or is it one of those things where we get to a clearing and we can see this thing towering above us?
You think that there is enough foliage that they can kind of blend in, but not so much that you wouldn't be able to spot them and find them if you were looking for them. But it's not like this isn't just deciduous, it's kind of got a mix of trees.
Sure.
Yeah, I think y'all are right. We gotta get something bigger. These little pea shooters aren't really gonna do much to something that's whole arm is bigger than my body. Like I'm not prepared for this. I think Marty lights up one of the cigarettes from his fanny pack.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
We're going to head back to the car and get your heavier gear?
I think so. But what should we do with Logan?
Oh, kid, where are you going? You said you were tracking him. Were you following the same trail we were?
Well, kinda. I could see some of the branches that went, and then I heard movement, so I ducked behind this bush because I didn't know what it was.
Well, we can't leave you here. If we leave you here, no offense, kid, but you're probably going to be one of the next people they drag wherever they're going.
But I gotta prove they're real, man. I gotta get a good photo. I gotta prove these things exist, or everybody's gonna laugh at me again.
Look, kid, when we kill this thing, you can be the first one to take the picture, man.
You promise?
Whatever you want to do, kid. It's your free time. If you're selling pictures of dead bugs on the black market, that's up to you. Look, I sell my own fair share of things on the black market, and honestly, with this guy constantly breathing down my neck, I think that you'll do okay. But you got to be alive to do that.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go with you out of the woods. And so he circles on the map where the hutch was that the shack was that he hid these in originally. He does mark that for you on the map. And then he's going to follow you back out of the woods. You will need to roll into the woods again because you are far enough into the woods that you got to go back out the other way.
Can I potentially sneak off to go to the hutch while everybody is wandering through the woods? I have a move that says contrary. When you seek out and receive someone's honest advice on the best course of action for you and then do something instead, mark experience. If you do exactly the opposite of their advice, you also take +1 ongoing on any moves you make pursuing that course.
All right. So whose advice are you asking for?
I think when everybody was offering up I think we should go back to the car. Yeah, I think we should go back to the car. And the kid was like, yeah, they haven't been back there at all. Marty was like, oh, that's probably way safer than the fucking car. And kind of wanted to go just kind of have a minute to himself and see if he couldn't pick up anything without his friends.
Are you telling your compatriots?
No.
Okay, then you start heading off in another direction. And Andrew and Agent Raslo are going to head back to the car with Logan Peabody. So go ahead and roll. Raslo, are you leading again, or is it going to be Andrew?
Yeah, I'll lead again.
All right, go ahead and roll into the woods. That is a plus sharp.
Ooh, 8.
That is an 8. You get to choose one of the options. You don't know how to get back. You drop something important along the way, or if in a group, one of your members gets separated, choose who. I will say if you choose the latter, it can't be Marty because he's got to do his own into the woods roll to get to the shack. So he's already gone. He's not a lost person.
I was considering the last one. I feel like Logan, fight or flight, would probably try to dip out.
Okay.
And he probably knows the woods far better than either of us would. So
Sure. So as you reach the edge of the woods and you get to your vehicle, you turn around and both Marty and Logan are gone.
hopefully we don't have to clean them up. And I go to open the trunk.
I'm a little bit less sympathetic to Andrew or to Logan's plight, but I would like to find Marty.
We'll find him. He's really good at getting in and out of places. I think he'll be okay until we get back.
You ever killed a big bug before, Agent Raslo?
Nope. But when I open the back of the SUV, there's a shotgun and an assault rifle sitting there. So I'm gonna pick up the shotgun because I think you said you had an assault rifle too. So
I do. Yeah.
I'll grab a shotgun and then 180 back towards where we think the shack is.
All right, yeah. But why don't you roll me your into the woods to get towards the shack, and then once you give me your result, we're gonna cut and we'll head over to Marty for his adventure or misadventure. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, please be high.
That is a fail. Okay.
Can I use luck?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a one shot, so you are limited to only one luck for this mission, but you may use luck to make that a full success if you like.
That's fine because I want to make sure we get to Marty.
Okay, I am just going to write down use luck to negate in roll 20 so we remember in case we go back and look. All right, so you head in very confidently into the woods with Andrew at your heels, his assault rifle at the ready. Now we're going to cut back over to Marty. So Marty, you're going to roll me an into the woods as well, which is a plus sharp, to get to that shack that was on the map.
+1 pursuing that course.
Because you disfollowed their advice? Yes. If that is what the move says, that is what you get. All right, that's
so
a
good.
10. So you make it to the shack, and it's kind of nestled in some trees that are a little bit closer together, and then like one corner is nestled in that so that it's not a super conspicuous shack, but you are able to find it. What are you doing?
I think that when he gets there, he puts out a cigarette and throws it into his fanny pack, and I think that he starts to kind of check out the exterior of it before going inside to see if it looks dilapidated, like if maybe the monsters grew and destroyed a portion of like the wall, to see if like there's any portion of the building that's unstable before he goes in.
Sure, go ahead and roll investigate a mystery. That is a 12. Hold 2.
Okay. I'm gonna start with what is being. No, I'm gonna start with what happened here.
As you take a look at this shack, you start to circle it a little just to make sure that all the beams are, right way up and that there's no big giant holes. It's not leaning to the side. And you notice a hole in the back, kind of back into the side, that is around like a child's height, like maybe 3 feet tall. And not quite as wide, maybe 2 feet wide, but what looks like bite marks and claw marks and like something wrenched its way out of this shack from there. Otherwise, the shack seems pretty stable.
Okay. I think for my second one, can I keep that hold until I go inside?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I think Marty goes inside, gives a general look around. I don't think he goes through the small hole. I think he tries.
Yeah, so you open the door and walk in. It is dark. There is no lighting. There's a rickety chair missing a leg in the corner and 2 eggs that are the size a little larger than football in the corner.
I think when he sees, use my second hold to ask what is being concealed.
It's pretty obvious from these eggs that something hatched here and then clawed its way or bit its way out. There are 2 eggs and you see some slime and everything around it. Think what is concealed here is the 2 eggs are not just sitting, they're sitting like in a little box. And you notice a little slip of paper sticking out of the box. And when you pull it out, it says giant cryptid manti. Keep frozen. And then there's an asterisk. And you can't find where the rest of the asterisk is on that piece of paper until you turn it over and you see on the back, warning, if hatched, will grow to abnormal size and then start breeding. And we're going to cut back to the other crew. So the 2 of you are walking through the woods and come to, I think, just a few minutes behind Marty, who is currently in the shack. And you come to the clearing, and there's the shack in front of you, nestled in the trees.
I am going to cautiously approach the shack.
You hear some rustling inside.
Marty, if that's you, I'm going to need you to say something or I'm going to blast a hole through the wall.
Ah, shit. I didn't think you'd find me this quick. Hey, where's that kid at? I need to ask him a couple of questions.
Well, both of you ran off, so we've only found you so far.
He what?
The woods are messed up, man.
Yeah, they are. He probably knows them better than any of us, though, so he's probably right on their tail. Ah, crap. This kid's gonna get himself killed.
Yep, probably.
I found something that might be pertinent. It seems like and I show him the piece of paper, the cryptid manti are gonna, and I flip it over, gonna start breeding. I don't think that this is gonna be our lucky day, guys. If they're dragging people back and they're not eating them there, then they're probably dragging people back so that way something else can feed on the people. Oh, good, you're armed. Oh my god, I did not realize you had these big weapons on you now. Great, excellent.
You have something in your pouch that might be able to start fires. If we can take these things down, we might want to burn them to make sure if there are eggs that we get rid of them.
Oh, I can absolutely start a fire with anything in this pouch.
Oh boy. All right, so how do we figure out where they are? Find some more paths through the woods?
You know, now that you guys got the guns, I think honestly going back to where we were before and continuing to follow that trail was probably the best path forward. I think that we are now prepared to find a 15-foot tall manti that could potentially have a bunch of kids. But now I'm almost certain we are a bit behind, and we need to probably pick up the pace, especially if that kid's still stalking them.
What about what he said about the cold, keeping the eggs frozen? Is that something we could use? I mean, I know we don't have whatever the equivalent of a flamethrower is, but for cold. But maybe we should do a little bit more prep before we just go in guns blazing, literally.
No, that's a good idea. Maybe something cold would just slow them down enough for us to limit any mobility they could have.
Or keep them from escaping.
As the three of you are standing here, Andrew, why don't you roll me a read a bad situation?
I was waiting for you to ask for that roll.
Okay. The three of you are standing here. Marty is standing at the entrance to the shack. Raslo is standing facing him. You are, Andrew, a little off to the side, but still facing the shack. And I think you're kind of to the side where the door opens out and kind of blocks a little of Marty's view of what is behind you. And you feel something grab your foot and yank you out. And you just start getting pulled into the woods.
Oh, shit. Raz, we gotta go.
I would immediately pursue.
All right, as you turn around, you see this praying mantis claw, for lack of a better word, around the ankle of your compatriot and pulling him towards them. And you look up, and this thing is towering above you. It's not 15 feet, it's more like 10 feet, but its pincers are going, and you see saliva, like this green, goopy saliva, starting to form on its mandible.
Shoot it now.
I'm going to take a shot with the shotgun.
Roll me kick some ass.
Oh, it's a 3.
So you raise your shotgun, and before you can get a shot off, another giant green limb smacks you from behind, and you go face first into the dirt. Your gun flies out of your hand and is a couple of feet from you, and you hear this really obnoxious roar from behind you, and the taller of the two, that is around 15 feet, starts towering above you, and you just hear this.
I think now that Marty is seeing both of these things, he has taken out his 9mm and is kind of panicking, doing a back and forth of doesn't know which one to shoot, and then tries to go for Andrew's praying mantis, just like towards the arm, so that way it can drop him.
All right. Are you trying to get him to drop him, or are you trying to cause harm?
I think I'm trying to get it to drop him, so that way he can get away.
You can roll act under pressure then.
Oh.
That is a
so
13. This is a choice shot. You get it right in the right place, and it pulls its fin back off of Andrew, and Andrew now is just face first in the dirt. You do still have your assault rifle with you as this creature starts to back up into the woods a little bit. How much harm does your gun do? I know the intention wasn't harm, but I just want to know.
It's 2 harm, close, loud.
Okay, so it's definitely loud, and it kind of rings through the woods. You can hear it ring through the woods, and the thing recoils and shakes its hand, and you see some green goop splatter, and you have taken off a piece of this guy's hand.
Get up, Andrew. Get up. I need you right now to start looking at one or the other.
Yeah, if I spit out some dirt, I'll stand up and I will take it. I want to take a shot at the other one, the one that didn't pick me up.
The one towering over Agent Raslo.
Yeah, for sure.
Go for it. Kick some ass. That is a 7. So you get a shot off on this thing. Where have you been aiming for this?
I think I'm just aiming at its face.
At its head? Okay, yeah. So you get it right in the jaw. How much harm does your gun do?
It's assault rifle's 3 harm, close, area, loud, reload.
All right, so it kind of clips it in the jaw, and you can see that it's got some green goop kind of coming down from it, but it is not deterred. It just screams again and then starts coming forward, and it is hovering to, it was focused on Agent Raslo. It's now focused on you, Andrew, and it starts advancing.
Can I roll over and pull my handgun and fire at it?
Sure. Go ahead and roll kick some ass. I think, you've had a second to roll over. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Your gun went flying. So you're going to have to act under pressure to get your gun first.
Not the shotgun, the handgun.
Oh, you just have a handgun? Then yes, go ahead and roll kick some ass.
I do want to get the shotgun back, but...
Buying yourself some time. Yeah. So that is a 10.
10.
What is your extra effect?
I think I want to do terrible harm, so +1.
Sure. And how many harm does your gun do originally?
It's 2. So
2, so now it's 3.
3. Yep.
Okay, great. So where are you aiming on this thing?
I'm aiming for like the neck and face. I imagine it's like above me, so I'm kind of just shooting upwards.
Yeah, so it takes a hit in the side of its head. I think the same side as the other bullet that hit it, and it roars really, really loudly, and then it starts to back up. It's no longer heading towards Andrew. It's no longer heading towards you. It starts to kind of recoil, and both of the creatures just back up really super, like quicker than you think possible. These things are fast, and they just start to back up into the woods, and they practically blend in pretty quickly, and they are gone.
I want to holster the handgun, grab the shotgun, and head for the taller one, which I explained to Andrew and Marty. I'm 90% sure that female praying mantises are larger than males. So I think that one would be the one that has eggs.
Good to me.
All right, so you're going to pursue her through the woods?
Yeah,
Roll into the woods?
that was just sharp, right?
Yes.
Oh boy. 6.
You're just chasing this thing down. You're not even paying attention to where y'all are looking or going. You are just trying to find this thing. But it, like I said, it is faster than you can believe. And I realize that that sounds like Dr. Hooplink, but they are really, really fast. So you are, not only are you not able to find the creature, but the creature has led you so deep into the woods now that you are essentially lost. And you're going to have to take a beat. So you all are lost in the woods and can't seem to really find your way out. Luckily, you're all kind of together, so you can roll another into the woods to see if you can find the path.
Hey, look, you've been walking us in circles for a while now. I think I'm gonna take the lead and try and get us back on some type of pathway here.
Sure, go for it.
That's plus sharp.
Yes.
Oh, also not good. A 4.
Ooh, okay. All right, I think you're still lost. You're still wandering in the woods, but somebody roll luck for me. Probably not Agent Raslo since you just used one, but it is half your luck rounded down. We're going to take from the Crit Show playbook.
What do you think, Josh? You want to go for it? I can go for it if you don't.
You can go ahead.
All right, yeah, that's a 12. So you are still lost. You don't really know where you are in regards to where you are on the map, but you stumble into like towards this rock face, this cliff that drops down from above. You've kind of been heading in a downhill direction, following this what you thought was a path to the creature, and you come to this cliffside, but you're at the bottom of it, where there's lots of boulders and you know things, and you remember on the map that there were some caves and things around here. So there's at least there's a change of scenery.
This is a pretty large area. I think Marty's just kind of scoping out the tops of the trees to see if like there are any praying mantis heads, like maybe a bit above them, since they are now in like more of a valley area.
No, you aren't really seeing any of that. So you do look, I don't think there's a role for it. And you're pretty sure that they are not out in the woods near you.
Andrew will look at the rocks to see if any of them resemble the eggs, so that if there's some eggs down there we need to destroy, that we can do that before the parents come home.
You don't see any eggs, but roll me investigate a mystery. See what you might find.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a luck on that because this is like the
Y'all are gonna level
75th
up.
the 75th bad roll I've done tonight. So
Roll 20 is not happy today. All right, so you're going to take a luck point. So that gives you a hold 2 on your investigate a mystery.
I mean, I feel like where did it go is a good one.
Great. So as you're kind of looking at this rock formation and where you guys came in and where Marty is looking up in the trees for mantis heads above the canopy, you do notice some branches that have been kind of pushed aside unnaturally, and you start following them, and you kind of walk around like you're still following the rocks around the side of the cliff face, and you come to the opening of a cave, and you believe that it has gone into this cave.
Oh,
So-
guys, I forgot to mention I don't do so well with small spaces either.
Do you have a list of things you are good with, or is it easier to just keep listing off things you're bad with?
He takes a joint out of his fanny pack, lights it up, and looks at him and goes, "This."
I'd imagine this cave has to be pretty big if these mantises are possibly going in and out of it.
It is pretty large. Josh, you still have a hold 1. You can hold on to it for the cave, but you'd need to use it soon. Like if you delve deep in the cave, that's a different scene kind of thing. But you could at least
So
enter the mouth of it and still use it.
yeah, I guess my question is, and this is the question I often have with this is, do we have enough information that what can hurt it, you know, would be relevant here? Or are we still kind of relatively clueless to that based on, our one
Um,
encounter with them?
I think it would be hard for you to be able to tell what can hurt it from examining the rocks and the cave. I think likely what you would need is for someone to look up giant cryptids, look up mantises. I think it would be a separate
Hmm.
role for
Sure.
that. You do know if you do want to use that, like there's other things you might have figured out by now that could hurt it, but it's not going to be the official quote unquote weakness. Though I
Sure.
will say, do you enter the cave?
I think I have this thought as I'm standing at the mouth of the cave. Like I have not fully entered yet, because we're all kind of chopping it up
Okay.
out
Then
there.
no, I don't think that you could come up with something on the what can hurt it other than your guns did make it bleed.
Speaking of which, do we see any blood going into the cave?
Yeah, you did the where did it go? So I think you do see some drops of that green viscous
Hmm.
fluid from their jaws that you were shooting at and their hand that got shot off that are a little bit dripping. So you are fairly confident they're in this cave.
Yeah, I will note that to the others and say I think they've made it back home already. Looking into the cave.
Do you guys think we could collapse it on them? Lock them in here so that way they can't get out?
I don't know anything about this cave system. It could go on for miles and go down, you know what I mean? So who knows? Like we could collapse one part and they could just tunnel their way out if it's not too deep.
Agent Raslo, it occurs to you that there might be some information at the FBI in your files or, something like that that you could do. Marty, you're thinking, oh, well, I'm sure like this guy bought it on the black market. Maybe somebody knows something about it. So I think there are avenues for y'all to figure out a weakness without, trial and error. You just have to, for Agent Laszlo, it'd be rolling. Um, what is the move for your agency?
Deal. It's called deal with the agency. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could do
Yep.
something like that, or Marty could try to call up a contact. You don't have net friends, but you could, Google it and search online on the forums or something.
Yep. I think I have somebody. I don't have anybody else in my department, but I have somebody in the office in the building that is more amicable, and I think I would attempt to call them to kind of look through some of my files and report back to me.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll your deal with the agency move.
Oh, 4.
You guys are having a hard time. What is the name of your compatriot?
Jack.
All right, so it rings for a minute and Jack answers, dude, this is not a good time. I don't know what favor you're going to ask of me, but this is not a good time.
All right. I just hang up.
You just hang up. All right, yeah, you just hang up. What is the ramification that is listed?
It says on a miss, you screwed up. You might be suspended or under investigation or just in the doghouse. But you certainly aren't getting any help.
Okay, yeah, you feel like this when he was doing it, it was slightly, you could tell that he was kind of hushed about it. So something negative is happening without you. And getting off the phone might have been the best idea.
Marty, you had a flashlight, right?
Yeah.
Can I borrow it and just like shine it inside the cave and see if we can see anything from where we're at without going in?
Look, buddy. Nobody touches my light but me. I can tell you where I got mine, but I think I'm gonna be the one doing the shining here.
I just gesture at the cave.
Yeah, and I think Marty looks inside, trying to prove a point to the cop.
Sure. Go roll me investigate a mystery. Josh, did you use your other hold?
Not yet.
Okay, then you could also use it as he's shining around the entrance to the cave. So you're gonna get 2, and then Andrew, you can either keep your hold or you could use your hold as you're kind of peeking your heads in.
I think I want to use my other hold to say like the what is being concealed here with the notion of like how far in do we think they've gone? Like between the blood trail and like now that the light's being shown in, like
Sure. As the light pans just on the inside of this cave, it is dark. It is a little damp, but it's not like frigid. It's not like cold. But it is kind of damp and cool and has, stuff growing from the ceiling, and everything. And a little ways in is a slight turn in the cave, but you can hear a little bit of scuffling, so you think it's pretty much like right around that corner. They're not that far in, but they're not watching you shine the light around.
they're close, guys. I mean, I don't think they see us here yet, but I think they're not that far into the cave system.
All right, and Marty, you have a hold too.
Yeah, I think as Andrew's kind of noticing the things, the like where they're at and that they're not too far down, that Marty kind of steps in kind of hypnotically a little bit. Like the dark is kind of like a little more curious to him, and he wants
Beckoning
to.
you in.
Yeah, I think that he's a bit curious, and is under the influence a little bit now, and is feeling a little brave since since he's looking real good, and that cop didn't. I think he's looking at what can it kind of in
Okay.
regard to, like he's kind of looking to see if maybe he notices any blood trails or like any bodies down here too, like if that's something in the vicinity of what he can see.
Yeah, I think you are hit by that memory of Logan saying they were dragging a body, and you look down at the floor and that is kind of damp and wet, but there's very clearly some drag marks down in, and you think that that's true. You think they're bringing bodies back in here to feed to their young. You know that they can breed, so you are suspecting that if they aren't already hatched, they will be hatched soon, that are back here. You know they have serrated limbs. You saw them yourself. You know they have a big mandible that looks horrifying. So you know that they can bite, and you also know that they are really, really fast. You also can tell that by the way they're dragging the body, they're not struggling to drag this body, and they're really huge, so they are very strong. I think you can also tell
We
that they have a little bit of mechanically it comes out as armor, but their exoskeleton is thick. The bullets were going in and it was causing some damage, but it wasn't, you've seen the 3 harm shotgun from Raslo decimate a creature, and these things just kind of, I'm sorry, it wasn't the shotgun, it was the 9mm. I think they've only been shot by 9mm so far. Maybe the assault rifle, but like these things should be tearing through them faster, and they're not. So they do have armor.
As I think
it is there, and this is posed to Martin and Marty and Andrew. Is there as I'm looking around, is there a way we lure them out and drop something heavy from above the cave down onto them and possibly do more damage than unloading I mean, we can lure them out and just keep shooting them, but how long is that going to take before they fight back and do more damage to us? So is there like a place above the mouth of the cave that we could push rocks or something off of?
There's a ledge. You're at the bottom of a cliff face. I would say it's maybe 30 feet up. I'm not great with distance measurements, but it's high enough that you could drop, like if you could find a boulder or something, you could drop a boulder out off on the edge and it would be effective. Um, but it's not so high that it's like teensy teensy tiny down below. Like it's enough. It's a good height for what you're looking to do.
I mean, if you want to wily coyote these bugs, man, we can definitely try that. But to get them out, seems like one of us is gonna have to be bait.
And also move a boulder to position. Are there any
Also-
boulders?
Or collapse the mouth of the cave. But we don't want to take the fight in there in case the victims are still alive. We don't want them in the path of damage.
I mean, yeah, if we can get as many people out as we can, that'd be awesome. Only thing is we know they've been breeding, and if this is where they're hiding, their eggs are down there too. Whether or not we kill mom and dad and we go in fighting, whenever someone goes down there to try and retrieve the people, there's gonna be eggs, and if the warning on the label was right, they're probably not just 2 this time.
As you all are having this conversation, I assume in kind of whispered tones at the edge of this cave, you hear what is very distinctly Logan's voice. Oh God! Ah! Oh God! Ah! Coming from just a little ways off
In the cave or into the woods?
in the woods.
I think that when Marty hears Logan's voice in the woods, he's like kind of happy because it's an excuse. Now he can leave the cave and rest assured that the one person that he knows that could be in this cave is definitely not in there, and is like, oh, thank Christ, and starts running towards the woods trying to find him.
Roll read a bad situation. That is an
Excellent.
11, hold 3.
What is the biggest threat?
You did see some drippings. You know that at least one of the manti is in there, but you don't see enough green blood to assume both of them came home. So the other one is still out there and is bearing down or has grabbed, like you don't know yet, but you know that it occurs to you that the other mantis is likely still in the woods.
I think as Marty's running, he's looking back and going, I need at least one of you. Come on. And I think that he's also looking for what his best way.
Your best way in is to follow exactly where you came from. It seems to be almost exactly like on your path, as if Logan might have been following you and got waylaid by the creature. So your best way in is the same way that you came in towards this way. So you're just going back out.
And I think the last one I have is when I kind of get to a point
Yeah.
where Logan is what's the best way to protect.
Sure, you are running. You are just full tilt running. Is anyone coming with you?
I'm gonna go.
I would have.
Oh, okay. I was. This is like one of my new moves is like never again, like protecting victims. I think that Andrew would probably run after Logan to protect him.
So then the better question is anyone left behind?
No, I think I would begrudgingly go after them.
Okay, so all 3 of you, Marty at the lead, just tearing through the woods, Andrew right on his heels, and Agent Raslo kind of puffing along behind it like, all right, fine. And Marty, as you come to a stop and see the smaller of the 2 manti holding Logan. Logan is unconscious. You don't know if he's alive or not, but the mantis has him in his grip and is pulling him not the way that he was with Josh, as if he's going to drag him, but kicking him up towards his mandible, as if he's going to just devour him right here. So your best way to protect the victim is to distract this mantis before it can eat him.
I think would it be safe to say that we've kind of it hasn't spotted us yet?
No, it doesn't hear you. It's just focused on its meal.
So I think I'm gonna attack this guy from behind with my Watchman's flashlight. And I have the move Sneaky. When you attack from behind, inflict +2 harm.
Go for it. That is a 7. So you come up behind it and you wail on it with this flashlight. How much does your flashlight have a damage?
It has 1 harm.
It has 1 harm? Okay, then you're actually doing 3 harm. I think what you get it behind it, and you get it, like, in the crux of a knee or a joint or something that is a little bit more fleshy and a little less exoskeleton. And you wail on it, and it immediately cries out and then drops Logan. When it drops Logan, you hear a crack from Logan's leg. But Logan is no longer the target. You are. What's everybody else doing?
I think I'm just gonna fire with my assault rifle to try to do some more damage and like keep it away from Logan.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Roll kick some ass. That is a 9. So I also realized that on the 7, I did not give you your consequence, Marty. So, or your harm in return. So as you deal this harm, it's focused on you, but it also rakes a claw against you, and that is going to be 1 harm, but it is sharp, so it goes through armor. All right, and you get this shot off, which I believe does 3 damage.
Yep.
Great. So you hit this thing, more green blood goes flying, and it rounds on you and also claws you for 1 harm. Ignore armor. This thing is still not much damaged. I mean, you're hitting, you dealt 6 damage so far in this fight, and its exoskeleton is protecting it from a lot of it.
And I, as I catch up and see what's going on, can I try to get like almost slide underneath of it and fire the shotgun up into its abdomen?
Sure. Go ahead and roll kick some ass.
11.
That is an 11. What is your extra effect?
Wrong list. I will suffer less harm.
Okay. Then you slide underneath this creature, firing as you go, and it's just bang, 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 bang. How much harm does your gun do?
Shotgun does 3 harm, close, messy.
All right, so you get this shot off, and it stumbles back away from you, and it swipes, but it was stumbling back at the time, so it just whiffs. As it would have been a claw that would have ignored armor, but it whiffs on you. However, it is, let me just check on how it's doing here. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more bloody, but it's really not. I mean, even its underbelly seems like the exoskeleton is there and it is protected. It is now like hovering over all of you and very angry that you have interrupted its meal. It is going to try to dart forward and grab Logan and head out of the woods, is what it seems to be aiming to do.
I would
Yeah,
like to
think
protect.
Marty's-
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I was gonna just dash in front of Logan and kind of just put my arms out to distract this thing.
Sure, roll protect someone.
Oh my god.
What is the fail on a protect someone? I
Oh
don't
boy.
actually remember. Let me go look.
It doesn't actually say, so probably something real bad. Or a
Yeah,
hard
I would
move.
assume that it is a hard move. Yeah, it takes a big like it was heading to like bite down. It's gonna bite you. Now, its teeth does not go through any armor, but it does do 3 damage as it bites into what would have been Logan's body and is instead like your shoulder.
Thankfully, I have 2 armor, but that's still another
Good
one.
for you.
Yeah, I will cry out in pain as that happens, but I will stand firm in front of Logan.
All right, it looks like it's decided to just eat you instead. So it's just gonna try to take it. It kind of takes its bite and then it rears back up and then it just comes back in for another bite. What's everybody doing?
I think that I am freaking out a little bit. The one person that just tried to save me and the kid that he was just trying to save are all like in a pile of we're gonna die soon. And I think that Marty is trying to get its attention, trying to disorient its legs again somehow to try and catch it off balance so that way Andrew can at least get up and get away or get Logan out of there.
All right. Before you do what would probably have been because if you're just trying to get people out of there, that is an act under pressure. Go ahead and roll. Yeah, just roll the act under pressure. Who are you trying to get out of there first? Because I don't think you could do both at the same time with the creature literally like hanging off of your compatriot here.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to get Andrew out of there first.
Okay, so you're trying to get him away from the creature that's trying to bite at him. All right,
Yeah.
roll act under pressure because I think at this point you're not trying to stop a bite or stop an attack. You're trying to move him. So I think that is more of an act under pressure to grab him and push him away.
I am loving these rolls.
As
Well,
you go to do this, he just bats you out of the way. You go flying. You hit a tree trunk and you bang your head for 1 harm. As this happens, your fanny pack opens a little and your lighter that you've been using for cigarettes falls out. What kind of lighter do you have?
Marty uses this slider all the time. He's got one of the refillable one of them Zippo lighters. It's got a picture of something very sentimental to Marty on it that I haven't thought of yet.
Great. So it falls out and it somehow snags on the edge and it opens, but it opens in a weird way that like rubs against it and the flame comes out. The creature notices the flame, screams, and takes off.
Ah, shit. Good to know. Ah,
Roll
God.
investigate a mystery for me. That is a 9. You have a hold 1. Might I suggest what can hurt it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
This thing very clearly is afraid of fire. I will tell you right now, we are at like 45 minutes left in the playtime here. Their weakness is fire. And you do know from the card that if you freeze the eggs, you can stop them from hatching. It doesn't kill them, but it does put them into hibernation. So there is a way to like deal with it with frozen as long as they're in egg form. But you're going to need to use fire to get rid of any that have hatched.
All right. I think we got to go back, but we got to start burning stuff. That thing freaked out when it saw my flame. I am happy to gather some sticks, put it out front so that way they cannot escape. But I do also, I am very concerned that if we try and burn the front of this and try and smoke things out, we will have a limited time being able to get out. But it would halt their escape.
What the hell is going on? As you all are sitting here, that's not Logan. Logan is on the ground. He's passed out. His leg is broken. This is a much deeper voice. I tried to make it sound different. It didn't sound different enough. What the hell is going on here? And you all turn around and see somebody in a ranger's uniform. He's a dark-skinned man, and he is just standing there looking at all of you with just mouth agape.
Raz, do you know this guy?
We don't all know each other, man. And I go to reach for my badge to flash the badge at him.
You go to reach for your badge, and it is not there.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be a thing.
That's what you lost the first time.
Yep. I just kind of hold my hand out. I'm Agent Raslo. I'm with the FBI. These are 2 of my colleagues. we're investigating the missing persons reports that have been coming in.
Ah, so this is yours then. And he holds out the badge, and you see that it's your badge. Found it when I was doing my usual routine, and started trying to figure out who might have gone off in the woods without a crew or a dog to make sure you could find your way back. And you notice a little ways off that there's a dog tied to a tree a little ways back with a little ranger vest on. It's very cute. And luckily he followed your scent here and found it. Here you go, Agent Raslo. Now, what exactly has been happening here?
You got a good exterminator?
He gives you kind of a cockeyed look, like, what?
There's some big bugs out here, and there's about to be a lot more of them.
Bugs. Like mosquitoes, beetles. We got some spiders out here.
Nah, something a bit bigger. Our unconscious friend over there, he had a couple of eggs that got a little bit too big.
That Logan Peabody over there? He looks worse for wear. And the ranger goes over. Also, he introduces himself. You can call me Ranger Jenkins. And he goes over and feels for a pulse on Logan. And there is one. It is faint. And he whistles for the dog. I don't think the dog's tied up. I think the dog's just waiting and well trained. And he whistles, and the dog comes up. And he grabs a walkie off the dog's pack. Yeah, I got somebody injured down here. If you could, yeah, we're gonna need a stretcher. Yeah, it's Logan Peabody. He looks pretty banged up. And you hear from the other side. Yeah, we're at the coordinates, and he's just like coordinating the rescue people to come and get Logan out of here. He looks at all of you and he's like, y'all look pretty banged up too. Do you need them paramedics?
Look, yeah, a Band-Aid, a good old bandage would be great, but there's still some bugs out here, and the more people that we bring to this area, or right down the cliff at least, it might be incentive for these things to come back. We should get you should get him as far away from here as possible. And Marty kind of looks at the other two like, oh, about the cave.
Yeah. Listen, I know this is probably very difficult to understand and it sounds insane, but it would be much safer if you took Logan away. Part of my job is to investigate weird things that don't normally happen, and the weird thing that we're dealing with is a 10-foot tall praying mantis that's killing people. So please don't bring more people here while we're handling this situation.
His eyes get really wide as you start talking about a 10-foot tall praying mantis. But roll manipulate someone.
Oh, 6.
Can I help out here since I was kind of yapping at this guy a little bit as well?
Absolutely. How are you helping? You were yapping at the guy, but is there something you say to back up our agent here?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a trail back here that leads directly to the cave. It's right where we ran from when we heard Logan screaming.
All right. Go ahead and roll help out. That is a 7. Okay. So Ranger Jenkins, that gets you up to a 7 and opens you up to a complication or danger. So Ranger Jenkins looks up at you all and he goes, "You're serious? A real life cryptid, like a giant monster, and it's not Bigfoot?"
Yeah.
You still got that note, Marty?
Yeah. Yeah. Here, take a look at this.
Yeah, so he looks at the note and his eyes just go wide. Tell you what, do you know what to do about these creatures?
Yeah, we got a pretty good idea.
What is it?
Well, the note says to keep the eggs on ice. We have a pretty good idea that these things are laying more eggs. And a little bit ago, right before you showed up, actually, I heroically lit a spark with my lighter, and the thing ran away because I scared it. But
With
it's
the fire,
yeah, with the fire.
and you see a big shit-eating grin just come all over his face. He goes, "Oh man, it's been so long since we've been able to break those out. Tell you what, I will get paramedics in here, get him out, but you got to take me with you. I will bring you a flamethrower."
Aren't you a service ranger? You're a cop, or are you a forest ranger?
I'm a forest ranger. I work for the
Damn.
state park, and on occasion, we have to burn some undergrowth. So
Yeah.
we have them. I haven't gotten to use one in the actual field yet. This would be awesome.
You're the coolest forest ranger I've ever met.
All right, hold on. And he, hey, I think we're also gonna need I'm gonna need to requisition one of the flamethrowers. Yeah, no, I know, but just trust me on this. I'll do the paperwork. Don't worry, I'll do the paperwork. Yeah, there's some brush here that really needs, yeah, all the telltale signs. We got to do this now before we got to do it as a controlled fire. Yeah. No. Let me just see how much I can get before you call the fire brigade. Yeah, All right, great. Thank you. And he puts the walkie-talkie back on the side of the dog who has lain next to Logan Peabody, and he's kind of doing a like protect kind of stance over Logan while they wait for the paramedics. So if you are willing to wait for the paramedics, you will have a flamethrower. Does that sound all right to everybody?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think
All right, so you're waiting for just a little bit, I think probably maybe 10, 15 minutes, and you hear the dog bark, and you start to hear people come through the woods. It's two paramedics. They get Logan up on the stretcher. They hand Ranger Jenkins the flamethrower. They both look pretty incredulous that he's taking this, and they're looking around at the brush like, "What are you gonna do, man?" And one of them just looks at him and is like, "You know you're gonna get fired for this if anything goes wrong. Yeah? Yeah. I know. It's fine. It's gonna be fine." And he just shoos them away, and they go off with Logan in tow, and they take the dog with them. So you now have a happy-go-lucky ranger with this flamethrower, and you have two monsters to find and a whole cave full of monsters. I'm not going to make you roll to get back to the cave. I think that you've now done this twice, this particular route. You can get back to the cave without much ado.
I think Marty uses his flashlight to guide us a little more.
All right. Are you going to let Jenkins be the only one holding the like, are you just going to have him kind of hold it and spray it, or would one of you want to take it? He definitely wants a turn, so you'd have to convince him to give it up, but
No, I don't think
think-
Marty wants.
I was gonna say I think initially maybe Andrew, and we can go in, flame at the mantises, try and get the people out, and then once we're at a point where we can kill the mantises, you guys can take turns. Also, you have a flask full of vodka and a lighter.
we definitely could use the vodka as a makeshift pre-Molotov cocktail to throw in first, and then light towards it.
Marty tears off what little is left of his shirt, like just a big old strip of it, and tucks it in there and goes, "All right, you can have the flask, but you're gonna have to pay me back for it."
I'm sure it's in the budget.
all right. So what's the plan here?
Do we want to sneak in towards the bottom of the cave, like where we saw the other one kind of like turning the corner or rustling, to get a better vantage of like what's in there, or do we want to like try and lure it out?
Feel like we might want to go in to see what's in there, because if they have any other people that are captured that are still alive somehow, it would be, that way we can confirm there aren't any other victims that are still with us.
I like that.
So who's going in?
How many flamethrowers do we have?
One. I think as long as you promise that Jenkins will get to use the flamethrower on one of the creatures, it will not matter to him that it's already dead. He just
Mhm.
wants to play with it, so he'd give it to you if you're going in the cave.
Yeah, I mean, there's no objections. I would take the flamethrower and head in first.
All right. So if you're heading in, whoever is heading in needs to roll me, at least whoever's in the front. So it sounds like Andrew's in the front with the flamethrower. Roll a read a bad situation as you enter this cave.
Oh my god.
Oh,
A 3.
As you start to walk in, you feel something brush against the side of your leg. And then another one. And then another one. And then you feel a bite on the side of your leg. That is, hold on, let me just check if that is the. It does not go through your armor because you have too much armor on, but you can tell that things are starting to nip at like your knees and your thighs and your legs, and you look down and there are, we call them mini compared to their parents, but they're up to your hip. They're like child size, and there's about 10 of them.
We've got a daycare's worth of mantises in here. I shout as I'm trying to struggle free of these horrible things.
Are you trying to struggle free? Are you trying to attack them? What are you trying to do?
I mean, if I'm using this flamethrower, there's probably not a meaningful way for me to light these things on fire and not also light myself on fire. So I think I'm just trying to knock these things off so I have some breathing room to actually use my weapon.
All right, yeah, roll act under pressure to put some space between you and these hatchlings.
How deep into the cave is he at this point?
It's
And
not that far.
okay, so I am going to come in behind him with the shotgun ready.
All right. And then as you start to come in, Andrew got an 11. So he is starting to get some distance. He's kind of gotten them off of him and he's got some distance. They have not come all the way out of the cave. They are not they're not super looking to get into the sunlight, but they are kind of at that turn in the bend there. So you both now have a clean shot. So you both can kick some ass. Whoever rolls first gets to go first.
I'll go second because I feel like that's
Still getting
giving some
yourself back.
lead time to giving some lead time to actually right myself
Yeah.
and not be covered with a third grade classroom's worth of mantises.
Yeah. So as you're backing out of the cave, I'll take a step in and just fire.
Go for it. That
11.
is an 11. What is your extra effect?
I'm gonna give one forward to Andrew.
Okay, great. So as you get this shot off, one of them manages, like you got this shot off and you actually hit a couple of them. But one of them made it past the shot and has come up and bitten you on the leg for 1 harm. It is not ignore armor.
Okay. I have 2 armor, so
Then you're fine, but it's like attached to your leg
Mhm.
now.
Okay.
Andrew, go ahead and roll your flamethrower move to get these little guys. All right, a
Thank God for
7.
that +1.
Fantastic. So I think what happens is you are using this flamethrower, but you're not a trained agent. You're not trained in using a flamethrower, and you do catch a little of your own like arm, your sleeve on your arm, and it burns you for 2 damage, but I believe you do have 2 armor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then yeah, you get a little singed on your shirt there, but there's no real like physical harm to you as this occurs, and you wipe out just a glob of them. There is still the one that is attached to Agent Raslo's leg, and you can hear chittering and noises coming from around the corner. You've gotten rid of these manti, but there's more, there's more coming. You can tell from this noise. Marty, what are you up to?
I think Marty was staying back a bit. He doesn't feel super equipped to fight a ton of them. And he was kind of thinking that, he'd see the big one first and then throw the Molotov and that'd do some good damage on it. And now that he's seeing a ton of them, he's like kind of freaking out a little bit.
All right. Read a bad situation for me. That is a hold 1.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
There is. As you are looking into the mouth of this cave and starting to freak out, you take a step back and you feel a shadow come over you, and you turn around and Daddy Manti is there.
Ah, crap. Ah, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. And I think that he's like lighting the makeshift Molotov as he's saying that and getting ready to throw it.
All right, roll kick some ass to throw this Molotov, this impromptu Molotov cocktail in a flask. We're gonna go with this was a glass flask in like a leather pouch, and you've taken the leather pouch off so this thing can break open.
Oh yeah, nothing but the finest for Marty.
Except for the vodka. All right, that's a 7. So you throw the Molotov and it hits it right just smack in the middle, and he goes up in flames. And I think what happens is he as he erupts in flames, the flames kind of jump a little as he flails his arms, and a little bit of the Molotov cocktail lands on your arm and starts to burn you. That was going to do 2 damage, but if you have any armor, it would negate that.
No, I am unstable.
All right, well, you are unstable and starting to bleed out, but Daddy Mantis is burning through. He is just going up in flames. He is just, you watch this thing writhe and shriek and cry out, and then it falls over backwards and is still kind of smoking and a little bit still on fire, and it is rigid. It is flat out dead. Ranger Jenkins turns to you and goes, "Who did you say y'all were again?"
Just some good friends.
He takes some like bandages out from his ranger pack, and he starts to get to work on you as we cut back to the inside of the cave.
Can I just yell back, stop, drop, and roll, Marty, and then pull the handgun out and shoot the one that's attached to me?
Yes, you absolutely can do that. Go ahead and roll kick some ass.
11. Whew.
Nice. What's your extra effect?
I'm going to do 1 forward to Andrew again.
Okay, great. You handily dispatch this guy. He was biting more of you, but you have armor and it can't get through that armor. So you just pow, and it just, and it goes down. You've dealt with the welcome party. And the coast is kind of clear. You can tell there's something waiting for you around that corner, but nothing seems to be coming out.
I need just a second, guys. I'm sorry. You guys can go on ahead, and once we're done here, we'll catch up.
Yeah, we need to press the advantage, I think.
Gonna holster the handgun, pump the shotgun, and start heading slightly deeper into the cave.
All right, who comes around the corner first, Andrew or Raslo?
I guess me.
Okay. As you peek your head around this corner, what you see is a big cavern, tall enough, wide enough that this 15-footer is easily able to get around. It does look a little small with her in it, but it is big enough for her to maneuver. And you see along all of the sides of the cavern a whole bunch of eggs. You also see a whole bunch of the little guys that you were just dealing with. Maybe another like 15, 20 of them are just plowing through what is left of all of the victims. They are gone. There is no saving them. It's over for them. There's not much left of most of them. You can tell that these manti have just been picking them apart. So all that's in here is eggs and mini manti and the giant man.
So they are around a corner from where Andrew is right now, right?
Yes.
Can I don't want to attack so to speak, but I want to kind of draw their attention to me, but back up. So if they come after me, they have to go essentially with him firing the flamethrower across the cave, that they'd have to come through a wall of fire.
Okay, we'll act under pressure to. Have you told Andrew about this plan?
I will. I'm going to tell him to get ready, and then I'm just going to start unloading and walk backwards.
All right, go ahead and roll act under pressure, because you are trying to get these monsters to come after you as opposed to trying to kill them. So you'll probably clip a couple of the little ones. That is
7.
a 7. Okay, so here are your options. You can do it, but you're going to kind of get in his way and he's going to lose his +1 forward. The second option is you stumble backwards and you're going to get covered in some of the little ones, but you won't be in the way of the flamethrower. So Andrew could still do the firing on most of them, and you'll have to deal with a small swarm on your own while he's doing that. Or 3, it gets the attention, but only Mama.
I think I'll do option 2, even though it reminds me of the scene from the second Jurassic Park movie.
That's exactly what I had in my head.
But no, I'll do that one.
All right, great. So you are unloading this shotgun and you are just trying to get as much attention as possible. And you start backing up and they start coming around the corner, and you back up to the side of Andrew, but trip on a rock and go down, and a bunch of them, maybe 5 of them, swarm you and are just picking at you and pulling on your clothes and just trying to get at your flesh. We will come back to you in a minute. Andrew, are you ready with that flamethrower?
Yeah, I'm ready to pray and spray this whole room and just end all this.
Fantastic. Roll kick some ass for me. That is a 10. What is your extra
damn.
effect?
I think inflict terrible harm. Actually, no, force them where we want them to, aka don't let them leave the space.
Fantastic. So this plan is working perfectly. They hit the entrance from around that corner and they just burn. It is wiping right through all the little ones. And Mama starts to come out of the cave and come around the corner there, and she's hovering very tall over you, and she tries to swipe at you. She is going to get you for 1 harm, ignore armor. But she's on fire now, and you take 1 little step back and she cannot reach you anymore. She's screaming and burning, and she does the same thing as the other Manti did, where she just, as soon as it's over, she just falls onto the rest of her minions, her little babies, and just a flaming, charred husk. And they are dead.
Did you win?
Hold on 1 second. We still have to deal with a couple of the little ones that have gotten away and are all over our Agent Raslo here. So Agent Raslo, as this is all happening, how are you dealing with these little guys?
I'm not sure how you would want to set this up as far as the actual damage, but I think I want to start using the shotgun as a bat to just beat them away,
Roll act under pressure, because I think the biggest challenge is going to be getting them off of you, because they're biting and clawing. But I think what we're going to watch you do is pick them up and throw them in the way of the flamethrower. So go ahead and roll act under pressure to get them off of you and in the way of the flamethrower without getting caught yourself.
Ooh, 10. Awesome.
That is a 10. So you do it, and you do it handily. You just see a swipe, and I don't know if y'all have seen The Mummy, but you know that part where he's just whacking them off the side of the mummies, and they just all go down in one big swipe. Or at the end of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where they have the big axe and she swipes it and 5 vampires just go flying. It looks just like that, only they go straight into the fire and are burnt to a crisp. So now you have burnt bugs everywhere. You have a cave full of eggs, and Ranger Jenkins sticks his head in. Is it my turn yet?
Oh yeah, torch the eggs.
Oh yeah. And he just goes in and he takes care of the whole room. He's just like, yeah, take that. Get out of my forest. Like he's just having a blast.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna step out of the cave and call Baker, and just let her know that we found all of her missing persons.
All right, yeah, you give her a call and she's who's this?
The sheriff.
No. She's asking you. Yeah,
Oh.
he's calling me.
This is Agent Raslo from earlier. Holy moly.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
We found what we believe is the missing persons.
What you believe?
Yes, they'll need identification. You may not want to send anybody with a weak stomach to come.
So they ain't alive.
What we found isn't alive.
All right. So we'll have to send some folks to pick it apart and see if there's anybody still missing or if they were part of that. Where'd you say you found them?
We are in a cave at the foot of the hills.
As you say that, you hear Jenkins from the back giving her the exact instructions for how to get to the cave.
I will relay them. I'm here with a park ranger who knows exactly how to get here.
Oh, you roped Ranger Jenkins into it. All right. I'll be there soon.
All right.
And I think at that we can montage the end of this where the sheriff shows up. You show her the bugs, you show her the eggs, you show her everything, and she is just absolutely aghast. She has no idea what to do with most of this, but she does call it in and call people to come and get these. And she's like, I don't think we're going to be able to handle this ourselves. I think we're going to have to get the city involved. The coroner is almost here anyway, so I'll just have him come up here too. And she's just like coordinating people and figuring it out. Ranger Jenkins is like, can I have your card in case anything like this ever happens again? Or, you know what, you take mine too if you ever need another flamethrower. And he hands you his card and holds his hand out to take yours.
I will certainly give him a card. I also would like to take the SD card from Logan's camera. I would also like to take the note from Marty to put in my file back at the office. And then I also want to cover Jenkins so he doesn't get in trouble for taking a flamethrower.
Yeah, I think Baker is just like, she'll smooth it through. I think you've essentially won her over. She's looking at these giant praying mantises and she's like, so this is what you do over at the FBI.
This is what I do at the FBI. Specifically, yes.
Interesting. Well, you ain't got a lot of charm, but looks like you're good at something. And she just kind of tips her little sheriff cap at you and continues on her way. I don't think you made a friend in her today, but she's not going to call your superiors and complain about you, which is good. All right, that is the end of session. So we will quickly do the end of session questions. Does anybody have them in front of them, or you want me to try to see if I can do them from memory?
Oh, it would be so much more impressive.
Okay, so did we solve the current mystery?
Yes.
Yes, handily. Wonderful. Did we save anyone from certain death or worse?
Oh, yeah.
Logan, for sure.
You saved Logan for sure. And you saved the rest of the town, but I'll give you Logan. So that is 2. How did we learn something new and important about the world?
Yeah. There's a black market for cryptids.
That is true. That isn't something we pre-established. So great. And then did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters? I think we learned a lot of things about all of the hunters.
Yeah.
But it is, a single session, so you're bound to do that. So yeah, so that is 2 points of experience for each person. Does anybody level up?
Yes.
Oh, I 100% do. I go over. I ramp off the threshold in a flaming car. And
Absolutely amazing. All right, so I am going to go ahead and wrap things up for today's session. All right. So thank you all for coming and being a part of this. This was really exciting for me. It's the first time that I'm getting to run people through. It's actually the third time I've run through this mystery. And I've never had a team ignore this many NPCs. So that was really great. Y'all just went straight for it. And I had to bring in Jenkins to bring you a flamethrower. You'd be stuck with a single Molotov cocktail. Which would have not gone well. But thank you so much. And thank you, everyone who's listening to the audio here. My name is LadyXoc. You can also call me Jax. And you can find more at LadyXocGames.com, including more playthroughs, as well as the mystery itself for today, as well as additional mysteries. You can also find me on Instagram and Blue Sky at LadyXoc Games. I'm fairly active on the Crit Show, Gauntlet, Kitten Marlowe, and Novel Games Discords as LadyXoc. So I'm pretty easy to find. I can also be heard as a cast member on Novel Games Podcast with Susan Quintana over at novelgamespodcast.com and wherever you get your podcasts. So if everybody wants to say where they can be found again, and then we'll say our goodbyes. No, nobody wants to say where they were found.
I'll go ahead. Yes. Once again, I'm Josh. Go by Aerodalt, and you can find me on the Crit Show Discord.
I'm Chris, and Deceiving Leak on the Crit Show Discord.
I'm Kaz. You can find me on the Crit Show or Kitten Marlowe Discord.
Great. Thank you all so much, and we hope you enjoyed it. Bye. If you're listening to this playthrough and would like to run it yourself, you can find this mystery and more at LadyXocGames.com. That's LadyXocGames.com. LadyXoc Games is created and produced by Jack Skitzes. Music provided by artists on Soundstripe.